This is Thursday Night Fun on tap between Baltimore Ravens. Coming up on Sunday. But for now, it's Thursday Cotton and Charles Davis.
All right, much appreciated, Coach. Football League on EA Sports. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL. Pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Dallas Cowboys and the Baltimore Ravens. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And, Charles, you look at this Raven team as they get ready here, and I don't think from what we saw down on the field before the game there's any doubt they're ready to roll.
They pass the eye test, don't they? This team looks fired up and ready to play.
Meanwhile, for the visitors here, the Cowboys, an early season tilt. And when it's an early season tilt, should be ready to roll.
Well, let's face it, the aches and pains haven't really set in yet. And both teams eyeing a really good start to get things going.
So here are the Cowboys now ready to go on offense for the first time. And their quarterback, well, everyone knows he's got height, standing at 6'6".
And I liked what his head coach told us about him this week, that no matter what happens, whether he throws 7 interceptions or 7 touchdown passes, each and every play, he can throw the 7 interceptions, just blame the football, blame anything else, and still carry himself like he is the man.
It's like you, assertive in our production meetings.
Well, especially when we're talking about ordering dinner, ordering some snacks.
I was just going to say.
That's where I go.
So the opening play of the drive goes backwards. Now they'll come up on 2nd and 12.
Green 39! Green 39!
Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. James has got it. Complete. It's a pickup of 16 there, and it'll lead to a new set of downs. And a nice start there to the aerial attack to pick up the first.
And I think preseason is officially over now. Getting into the groove of the regular season, that's a great way to get started. First drive of the season, what a nice completion.
A first down carry by Elliott. And the play goes nowhere. Losing yardage back near the 40 at the 39. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down.
Nice play right there to stop him behind the line, but I want to see how this defense continues to play him here in the first half.
Yeah, you know better than I. He has the ability to take over a game, so what do?
Yeah, I think you have to make sure that you bottle him in at varying levels, because if you crowd everyone to the line of scrimmage, he breaks through, it's nothing but room to run.
And he takes this up right near the 45-yard line. He gets them a little over half of what they needed. Now they're looking at a 3rd and 5.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
They'll set up to throw. Airing it out for Hurns. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off at the 17. And he's going to get this one to the 23-yard line. Certainly not how they envisioned ending their opening drive here in the first quarter.
Too many ones in this play. First quarter, first drive, first interception thrown.
And that last one, that hurts. Jackson and the Ravens come up now 1st and 10 at their own 23. They'll begin the drive on the ground with Starks. And he'll wind up losing yardage here back at the 21-yard line. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up 2nd down. Moving backwards on 1st down, never a good thing. What does that do for the mindset on 2nd down?
Well, it changes your play call, definitely, because as a play call, you're advancing yourself thinking, okay, we're going to get a gain here. Now you've got to go back in reverse, come up with something to pick up not just the yardage lost, but gain a few extra.
Now Jackson on 2nd down. That'll be caught over the middle by Moss. And they'll get it all the way up about 5 yards shy of midfield. That one goes for 24 yards. A run here for Starks. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. DeMarcus Lawrence in on the tackle. And he got off the end there very quickly to make that play.
Yeah, it was almost like the bullet train, wasn't it? I mean, just zoom. Quick, quick, quick. And what a terrific play, holding them to no gain.
Starks. And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field.
Holding offense.
So he was holding from that left tackle position.
Everyone tries to keep their hands inside when they're blocking ever since they liberalized the rules where you can extend them out. But sometimes they get out a little wide and they get detected grabbing some cloth.
Jackson now off the bootleg. On the move to his left. Finding some room at midfield. And he takes it across the 50 to the 46-yard line. A heck of an effort there on the scramble. Leaves him with just 3rd and a yard.
So in this case, you'd think the defense would be collapsing to the left side of the field, and they forced him to his left. So he just tucked it away and picked up some yardage.
Detroit! Detroit!
Here's the first carry for Bo Scarborough. And he's going to have a first down as he's brought down at the 44-yard line. They only get 2 there, but on 3rd and 1, that's all they needed to keep the drive going.
We all love to have a home run hitter in the backfield. Guy who can take it the distance. But a short yardage, trying to pick up first downs, that big guy, always a nice luxury to have, isn't he?
A pair of first downs gives him a 1st and 10 up at the 44. Jackson on first down. And an alley to run. And the stop here will come at the 38-yard line. The improv on the scramble there gets him 6, and it'll be 2nd down.
They brought the blitz that time, and I thought they were going to get to him, but instead, he flipped it on its ear and ended up picking up positive yardage.
I thought he was dead to rights, but you are exactly correct, sir, able to turn that into a positive gain. And now Jackson will look to throw it. And the hit jarred loose. It's incomplete.
Anytime a defense can sit back in a zone like that, it tends to create a lot of congestion in the middle of the field. Makes it very hard to slot one in.
Looked like I-4 at rush hour in your hometown of Orlando, Florida. An absolute mess. Here's the 7th play of this drive. This is 3rd and 4.
Watch it now, Barney! Barney!
Play action. Now Jackson. Oh, he almost picked it. Nearly a turnover there on their opening drive. And that's a throw he'd like to have back. Now 4th down. That's already the 3rd time they've looked his way on this opening drive. He's caught 1 of the 3.
That doesn't mean they won't continue to go in that direction. It feels like they think they've got something good going there, and they think those numbers are going to increase.
And he has got it from 55 yards away. That was never in doubt. These kickers now, it used to be that a 50-plus yarder was cause for celebration. Now seemingly automatic.
Yeah, isn't it funny when we prepare for a game, when you look at the backgrounds of these kickers, it's interesting, isn't it, to find out they were all-state quarterbacks, receivers, defensive backs, all-state wrestlers, right? Baseball players. We're finding athletes all along, and now they're just specialists putting it through the posts.
And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. Here he is, the man taking the snaps under center, heading out for the next possession. And he comes out on the heels of an interception he threw last time they had the ball.
Yeah, and you know, the quarterbacks that I know that are the best ones, the ones that really know how to lead their team, they tell them, that's on me. That's my bad. But let's go back out there and move ahead again, guys. We can get this done.
One good thing for him, it did only lead to 3 points and not a touchdown after that turnover.
Big thanks to the defense.
Trying to shake off the interception. He'll look to throw toward the left sideline, but it's incomplete. Carlos Henderson, the intended receiver, That'll bring up second down. And the big boys up front in the trenches. What do you think of the O-line, Charles?
I love them because this is a group that's so cohesive. They know what the man next to them is going to do at all times, and they operate as a terrific unit.
Line of scrimmage, again the 25, 2nd and 10. And 2nd and 10, he'll look to throw again. He's going to look deep down the field. And it's knocked away and incomplete. He was looking to get it to Allen Hurns that time. And it'll bring up 3rd down. And the big meat on the D-line, we'll see how they do today.
And I'd hate to be an offensive lineman having to deal with these guys. They come in hungry, mean, and confident. They think that no one can block them.
So back-to-back incompletions, and that has them staring at a 3rd and 10.
Hurry up, here we go. Green, 39.
Back to throw here. And he goes down. The Ravens able to get to him. Great job defensively. I think he was trying to go through his progressions, find someone to get rid of the football. Before he knew it, he was on his back.
So that just brings us right back to what you said in the beginning. A great job defensively. Nowhere to go with the football. That led to the sack.
So on 4th down, here's Chris Jones to punt it away. Just a net of 34 there following a punt of 44 yards. And the Ravens, they'll take over. The Ravens offense now, they get set and head back onto the field. And fortunate to get points on the board last time. They had to hit a really long field goal to do so.
The kickers in today's game are so good and so skilled and hit from distances that we almost start to take them for granted, and we can't do that. That's a long field goal that they got 3 points out of. They've got to feel good about that, and they better make sure they love him up because he's helped them out.
Yeah, now we'll see. And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down. David Irving busting through to get him for a loss of 6.
What a nice read and play by the defensive tackle. Never bought the play-action fake. Went right for the quarterback and put him on the ground.
Protection certainly going to need to be a bit better here on 2nd and 16.
Hey. Over.
This is Starks. And he'll get this up to about the 38-yard line. They get just a yard back there, and now they'll be looking at a tough 3rd and 15.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
Detroit!
Here's Jackson on 3rd and long. That is man complete over the middle. It's Sharp. And he takes this one down almost all the way to the 30. A big 30-yard play on 3rd.
Well, partner, I'm not sure how this drive's going to end, but how about the way they flip field position there? A nice attacking play that picked up a heck of a chunk of yardage.
Jackson certainly giving the Ravens a spark in his rookie year. He's got him on the move with a 1st down. Now Starks. And a 5-yard gain as he's down inside the 30 to the 28-yard line.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable 2nd down. A very solid gain on that play.
Here we go now. Green, 39. Green, 39.
And they'll try the ground game here with the running back. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. That'll be a loss of a yard, and it leads to a third down.
I know when I was a kid, I always got real excited when I saw those lateral-type runs. But the best backs that made it happen, they put a foot in the ground and just go. That didn't happen there. That play got swallowed up.
So that'll do it for the first quarter as we kick off another season. 3-0 is our score. You are watching the NFL on EA Sports. Second quarter now. Brandon Gaudin and Charles Davis with you. It's the Ravens who have the football. They're on the march, but facing a third down here.
Watch him now, Barney! Barney!
Now Jackson. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete.
I think he had to unload that one before he wanted to. He was right up in his grill. I think he was a dentist there without a license, don't you?
Just not enough time for the play to develop. Just lucky it wasn't a fumble, really. And this one is right down Broadway. And that will double their lead as it's up to 6. So scores on their first 2 possessions, but 6-0, so field goals probably not what they were hoping for.
Yeah, you're exactly right about that. Not what they were hoping for, but they should be happy that they have points on the board. It almost feels like that old slow and steady wins the race, doesn't it? In this case, though, they want to be slow and steady now, but get explosive later and put the points up on the board.
And down it goes just shy of the 25. Now, penalty marker is down. Let's see what that's about.
Illegal block in the back. Return team.
Yeah, this is going to put them back with not great field position.
So they really got zero benefit at all, right? Sometimes you can absorb a penalty when you get a big return. Then the penalty brings it back, but you still have great field position. As you pointed out, not in this case.
The give is to Elliott. Gets past one man. And brought down, but not before reaching the 25. The drive starting with a first down, 11 yards on that pickup.
Coming in, he really liked his chance of having a big year based on a terrific offseason. And runs like that on opening weekend show that he's right.
Hurry up, here we go! Green 39! Green 39!
Now a play fake here on first down. And they're not able to hook up there. Incomplete.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that first down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
Line of scrimmage, again the 25, 2nd and 10.
Here we go now! Green 39! Green!
He'll try again with the arm here on 2nd down. Looking and finding Allen Hurns. And he takes us beyond the 35 before going out of bounds. First catch of the new season for him, and he picks up the first.
All that practice time came to fruition on that play. All those timing routes that they work on through training camp, OTAs, minicamp, and just regular season, they got it done on that one. An outcut, ball was delivered, and picked up the completion.
Again to Elliott. Room to run past midfield. Breaks the tackle now with Allen. And finally taken down at the 35-yard line. That one 28 yards on the ground. A tough run by Ezekiel Elliott, the 4th overall pick in the 2016 draft.
If you watch tape of him in college, you saw plenty of those runs because I know the highlights showed him in the open field breaking away from people, but that's how he wore down defenses, those exact type of runs.
2 yards on the carry there. It'll be 2nd down.
But we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And a short gain down to about the 33. Only a yard in the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 3rd down.
Well, they had that one sniffed out. Excellent run blitz. Stopped that one for a short gain.
What makes a good run blitz a good run blitz?
The ability to stay on task, to follow up your assignment, go to the gap you're supposed to cover, and not be deterred by anything else.
But he's got it to Hearns. And down inside the 15 he goes. A gain of 19 and picking up the first.
Nice catch right there. Brings to mind the sentence, when in doubt, find your veterans.
He used to laugh back in the day when they would call guys like him crafty veterans. You get up in your 30s, you're still playing receiver, but you're around that long at that position, you're doing something right.
Just remember this, when he was young, he thought the crafty veteran was simply a guy who couldn't run anymore. Now he understands a little bit better.
Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. And he's able to work it here to the 8-yard line. It's a gain of 7, and it'll be a second down. He's already proven to be a factor in the running game on this drive. Now he gets involved in the passing game.
I think what we're seeing here is the modern version of workhorse in the NFL, being able to run it and catch it with equal proficiency.
They'll look to throw here. And his throw is incomplete. Carlos Henderson, the intended receiver, and it's 3rd and short.
I tell you, Brandon, this defense is playing with some confidence. Haven't allowed a point yet. Flying to the football. I'm telling you, it's almost 11 to the ball on every snap. Another nice job there to force an incompletion.
The Cowboys on 3rd down. Just 1 for 3 thus far. This time it's 3rd and 3.
Green 39! Green 39!
Now back to throw. And that is caught. Touchdown, Cowboys. Allen Hearns, his first touchdown in a Cowboy uniform. And the Cowboys are now just an extra point away from moving out in front.
This has to be great for the psyche of this offense. Presented with bad field.
And now it's blocked. So a tie ball game here as the kick's away. That'll be taken in the end zone. Solid return, pretty good field position. They'll start at the 32-yard line. And now here come the Ravens. And last time able to get 3. It's not what they wanted. They wanted 6, but they got at least something. They mustered something out of the drive.
They'll take it. I like the way you've described it. Not ideal, but they'll take it. Anything to put some points on the board. But this time on offense, they don't even want to see the field goal kicker trot on the field.
They'll throw on 1st down with Jackson. Oh, a scrap for the football, and he's going to come down with it. A very nice pickup of 33 yards.
You know I'm going to lean towards the defender, right? You know I'm going to do that.
I know.
That's a tough situation for him as I see it. But the truth of the matter is, that ball was not streaking towards him. That little arc on it, he's got to find a way to get his head around to make the play on the football.
So that changes things a bit. Here's a 1st and 10 all the way down at the 35. They go play action here on 1st down. And he will go down. A Cowboys sack. DeMarcus Lawrence. He's the one that got to him. He takes him down for a loss of 9.
Well, that's the 2nd time he's been sacked so far in the first half. And if they have designs on having a big year, on going anywhere, they've got to find a way to keep him upright so he can throw the football.
On 2nd down, here's Jackson. Past the 20. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And all the way in for a Ravens touchdown. A big play there. 45 yards. And the Ravens are in for 6.
As a fan, is there anything prettier than a well-executed post route?
No, it's a thing of beauty, especially when it's done like that for a touchdown.
The throw, the catch, and how about the run after to get it to the end zone?
Extra point forthcoming. Extra point right down the middle, and they will take a 7-point lead. Scoring summary, 3-play drive, and it's capped off by the Baltimore score. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. This will be taken in at the 1. And he'll be brought down at the 23, make it the 24-yard line. And now Dallas gets set to take the field. Yardage here back at the 23-yard line. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be second down.
Anytime you call an inside running play, you just know there should be a lot of congestion there. You're counting on your offensive line to take control of the line of scrimmage. That didn't happen in this case, and that play got bottled up.
First play of the drive goes the wrong way. Here's second and 12. On second down, Elliott. And he'll wind up losing yardage here back at the 21-yard line. He lost 2 there, and it's third down.
I know that speed is the hallmark of today's NFL game, but the key to good rushing defense is still having your linebackers set the edge.
So time to start going in the other direction as they come up now third and long.
Here we go. Green, 39.
Now on third and long, they'll look to throw. It's a short one here, complete to the tight end. And they'll get him down here at the 23. 2 yards is all they'll get on the completion. It's fourth down.
He wasn't the primary target, but I think it was almost like a check down situation, wasn't it?
Yeah, hoping he can break some tackles, a big tight end, but he couldn't do it.
Yeah, get it to that big frame and hope he can scatter some bodies, unable to get it done.
And now Baltimore gets set to take the field. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline, because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
Lucky 56, lucky 56. Detroit, Detroit.
On first and 10, it's Jackson. Throw left side complete. That's Sharp. And he'll get this one way up just shy of the 45-yard line. That one goes for 24 yards.
And after that completion, you can understand why so many teams in the league are emphasizing speed on defense at every position. The tight ends have created so many tough matchups now. If you can't run with a tight end as a linebacker, this is going to be the result every time.
And they'll go ground game here with a tailback. And he'll be taken down just shy of midfield. 5 yards is the tally on first down. That brings up second and 5.
Partner, I think from our experience together, we have learned that most offensive coordinators are going to tell you, if I'm going to run the football on first down, I've got to get at least 4 yards. They got 5 here. They've got to feel pretty good about that one.
3-19.
Now they try the right side here. And he'll lose yardage here. Back at the 47. 1:58 to go in this first half of play. We're back to Baltimore after this. A reminder coming up at halftime, it's the season debut of the coach, Jonathan Coachman in Orlando, as we look ahead to all the action coming up this opening weekend. And of course, we'll also take a look back at this first half.
Gone! All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
They snap it at one. Now it's Jackson. Man open, that's Jaleel Scott. And he has the first down yardage before they bring him down right at the 45. He's got his first catch here before halftime, and it goes for a first down. And a good quarterback facing zone coverage. If he has just a little bit of time to survey the scene, that's what's going to happen.
No doubt about it. If there's no pressure, he's going to continue to pick them apart because he'll have all that time to find someone open downfield. You can only cover for so long. So maybe they want to go to a zone blitz scheme, get a little bit more pressure. Remember when Carolina did that against Denver? They lost the game ultimately. They dropped the defensive end out, and he ended up with an interception in that game in Super Bowl 50. Maybe some sort of scheme like that to try and get more pressure at the passer.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10.
Detroit! 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 Gone! 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 Gone!
Jackson going to throw again. Staying on it, but in the end, the pressure too great, and he goes down when the protection just broke down.
You've got to have that leverage, don't you? We always talk about low man wins in the running game for an offensive lineman versus a defensive lineman. It's essentially the same thing in pass protection. Get lower than that defensive lineman so that you can keep your balance and keep him away from your guy trying to throw the football.
Throwing on 3rd and long. Jackson. And that is incomplete.
Certainly looked like they were getting ready to convert there on 3rd down, but what an effort to get his hand on that one, knock it away, and brings up a 4th down decision.
And the punt team on now as this one's sent away. Dallas gets set to take the field. They're going to have to go at least 50, 60 yards here if they want to ensure that they don't have to punt the ball like they did last time.
Yeah, so what you're saying is we're not playing to just get out of the shadow of your own goal line, right? You're playing to make sure the punter doesn't see the field again. So it's not picking up a couple of first downs. You want to pick up 5 or 6 first downs and make sure you move the ball into their territory.
They'll start the drive with Elliott. And he was very fortunate there to get out of his end zone. He maybe got back to the 2-yard line. Now before the 2nd down play, we'll get whistles and a timeout as they'll stop it with 40 seconds remaining in this first half.
Now let's go! 3-19!
This is Elliott. A little juke, and he'll take this up to about the 7- or 8-yard line. A 6-yard pickup on the ground that time, and that'll make it 3rd and 4 coming up. Well, we know he's an electric runner. Earlier this half, you were wondering how they were going to bottle him up at different levels. That was your suggestion. Some mixed results.
Yeah, certainly, because we have seen him bottled up at times. We've seen him playing very well. We've also seen him pop the cork a few times and get out of there, haven't we?
We have indeed. And now the Raven defense going to call a timeout as they'll stop it with 17 seconds to go in this first half of action. The Cowboys on 3rd down, 2 for 5 to this point. This is 3rd and 4. 10th carry now for Elliott. And a short pickup here as he'll get across the 10 to the 11-yard line. And now the Ravens are going to take another timeout as they'll stop the clock with 12 seconds to go in this first half. Out now comes the Cowboys punter as he'll come on to kick this one away. Yeah, he was looking for the checkup bounce, didn't get it. That scoots all the way into the end zone now for a touchback. Likely time for one final snap as they start out 1st and 10.
Here we go now. Green 39. Green 39.
Final play of the half here. It's Jackson. He's going to sling this deep downfield. That's caught inside the 20. So we have reached halftime here in the Thursday night opener. As we'll send you down the coast now to Orlando. That's where we find Jonathan Coachman ready with our EA Sports halftime report. Coach.
All right, Brandon, good to get another season underway. We'll get back to you guys for the second half of the season opener. But first, let's take a look at what's still to come here in the opening weekend of the NFL season. In the early window on Sunday, one of the best happens up in Pittsburgh. A big one for the Steelers as they'll square off against the Cincinnati Bengals. Excellent games in the late afternoon window as well. One being out in Los Angeles, where it'll be the Rams taking on the Buffalo Bills. And lastly, Sunday Night Football has a good one lined up between the Cleveland Browns and the Kansas City Chiefs. In the game you're watching, we've seen a strong first half out of Lamar Jackson. He's thrown for over 200 yards already, and his guys have the lead as well. As we get you back to Brandon Gaudin.
Okay, Coach. Appreciate it. A one-touchdown game here as we get set to resume play in the second half. We'll see if week one fatigue becomes any kind of a factor as we are back underway in the second half. And nice work on the return as they'll start their drive just past the 30-yard line. This Ravens offense heads back out there, led by Lamar Jackson. And they must have seen something leading up to this one that said, hey, we're going to be able to go deep because they've gone deep with a lot of success.
And pick your phrase, pick your code words, your buzzwords, whatever. Vertical stretch, deep passes, go routes, right? What's that route you love? What's that route you love? Four verts. All of it working because they're able to find ways to get deep and for him to show off that big arm.
We see some of that big arm right here. He has been great. Jackson and the Ravens come up now 1st and 10 at the 31-yard line. This is Starks to start the drive. And it's been like this all night long. Nowhere to run as they stop him behind the line. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be second down.
I like the strategy. Extra tight ends, extra beef. They want to run the football, but that means they probably want to run it inside. If you get strung out on the perimeter, you're in peril.
Yeah, we saw the result, negative yardage.
Here we go.
Off the bootleg, Jackson. Looking left side, and he's got him in. It's Sharp. And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. A gain of 32 that time.
The goal for any offense versus a zone defense, find the holes where guys are available and put the ball on the receiver before any defender can step up and fill it.
They did it well there. Perfectly executed crossing route. So how about that for a chain mover? They're all the way down inside the 40 now for 1st and 10. This is Scarborough. And a short gain there down to the 37-yard line. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Green 39. Green 39.
And they'll go on the ground. And he'll snag about 5 yards down to the 32.
Tough first half for him, unable to put up the numbers he's used to producing. But with a guy like him, you and I both know it just takes a couple of explosive touches for him to make an impact on this game and on the stat sheet as well.
The Ravens on 3rd down. They've hit it 50%, 3 of 6 to this point. This is 3rd and 4.
Detroit! Detroit! Gone! 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 Gone!
To throw is Jackson. It's a loss of a full 3 yards, and it brings up 4th down.
Blitz! Blitz!
So now the field goal unit trots out there for the 3rd time tonight. This will be kicked from the 42. It's a 52-yard attempt. And his kick is absolutely perfect. And that one makes this a 10-point game at 16-6. So 3 field goals that he's hit now. This last one helps him stretch out the lead.
He's been solid, hasn't he? And he lives up to the adage that every offensive coach has ever said to us. We want to end every possession with a kick, right? For them, it's either extra point, field goal, or at worst, a punt. In this case, it's been 3s.
The Cowboys offense now, they head out for their first possession of the second half. They trail offense, first time to touch the ball in quarter 3, and we'll see what they can do.
And I can't wait to see what they have planned, because some teams script to start a half. Other teams just go, okay, these are the sequence of plays we want to run. These things worked well for us. And sometimes they throw in that big chunk play right away.
Shocker.
Try and get after them early and try and create a big play to give themselves some momentum.
See what they have up their sleeve. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up second down. You know, despite the scoreline, I think they've got to like where they are here. They're on the road and just one big play away from getting right back in this game.
I'm going to follow right along with you, because the spot they're in now is a credit to their defense. They've kept them in it by making the plays that they've made, and that just means you're one big score away from being right back there.
Now the question is, can this offense step up and make that play, because that's been an issue for them in this game. And that one blown up quickly, as he's going to be stopped before he could even get started. It'll be a loss of 1, and it'll be a 3rd and about 13.
That's a really alert defense there, because they saw the heavy look come in from the offense, countered it with extra linebackers who brought a little bit of speed and heft, and able to really make a big-time play for their defense.
Looking to throw. And this one is incomplete.
Well, we're into the second half now, and this is an offense that continues to struggle to sustain a drive.
Looks like they're just totally out of sync, whether they're running the ball, passing the ball like we saw there. I don't know. The rhythm seems off. This is taken around the 12. Might have needed just one more block. As it stands, 37-yard return. And that will come the offense as they take over. And now Baltimore gets set to take the field. And they're not going to play this conservative, I don't think. They had the field goal last time, and they're up, but they're looking to put a drive in the end zone.
Oh, I agree with you totally. No one goes out on the field and says, all right, let's just settle for 3, except in certain situations, trying to ice a game, that sort of deal. Most of the time, it's end zone, and that's what you're thinking, and I believe that's exactly what they're thinking as they begin this one.
Yeah, no quarterback ever goes out there saying, hey, let's get 3, right?
Not one that I've ever met. There are so many things to watch for when you play defense, and reading your keys, you always hear about that, and having your eyes in the right place. Sometimes your eyes can fool you. How about that play action there? It sprang the big guy, didn't it?
Able to dump it over the top to him. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. And give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6. In the first half, he was held in check on the ground, but despite that lack of production, they still have the lead.
Yeah, and they've got to feel fortunate about that. If they could actually get production from their lead horse, that would help open up this offense and widen this margin, too.
And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. 5 yards on the pickup, and that'll bring up a 3rd and 1.
Sometimes with the running game, you've just got to stick with it. Look, it's the 3rd quarter, no time to panic. But that also doesn't mean you just do it the same way you've been doing it the entire ball game. Maybe change up some blocking assignments or run a few different plays, but stay with the overall essence of the running game.
Now they'll run it with Scarborough. And this play goes nowhere. Losing yardage back to the 15. That'll make it 4th down after a loss of 1.
Doubling this guy has to be a priority before moving up to the next level, because the big fella, he just ate that one alive, just stuffed it. In fact, before the game, he was talking to us, and he's like, hey, these pants make me look fat. And we said, nah, man, you're just a whole lot of guy.
He is well over 300 pounds. He's a big man. 4th down, here's Jackson. Forced out to his left. He may try and run for this. And able to get him down, but he does reach the 5. Well, certainly not how they drew it up. A fourth down gamble turns into a fourth down scramble, but all is well. First down.
Here we go. 3-19.
They'll try and run for it on first and goal. And he'll get in. Touchdown, Baltimore. A great play there. A 5-yard touchdown run. And the Ravens will add on to their lead.
That drive that really increased their cushion felt very military to me. Very precise, methodical. That's one of the words you've taught me. And they just got it done.
And slowly but surely now starting to pull away a little bit. Things looking good for them here in the third quarter.
Not only pulling away, but you mentioned that slowly but surely. You also drain clock, too, with a drive like that. So you really give yourself an advantage.
Point after, right down the middle. And that'll make this a 3-score game now. The lead moves to 17. So the drive there took 6 plays, and it's finished off with a 5-yard touchdown run. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. This fielded at the 2. And he'll take this one near the 25, call it the 26-yard line. The Cowboys offense heading back out and ready to go again. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
And he'll wind up losing yardage here back at the 21-yard line. It's a loss of 5 there, bringing up second.
Well, you had to punt on your first drive, and on the first play of the second drive, you end up going backwards. I would dare say they need something good to happen right here, right now.
No. Check. Patriot.
They go to Elliott again. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. Nothing there, no gain, and now they're looking at a 3rd and 15.
Early down stuff to put this offense in a precarious position. We know that securing the point of attack, especially against the big-bodied guys in the middle of this D, has got to be priority 1.
They'll set up a throw. And eventually taken down here. Great coverage downfield.
I think we've seen this before. Someone's down 3 scores. That situation there, it's just going to add to their growing frustrations, don't you think?
Yeah, a bad number 3 right now. 3-score game, third quarter, 3 and out, not what they wanted. And you can tell on the sideline, those faces are getting a little bit longer as this one goes. Out now comes the Cowboys punter as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. And a great job here. This is going to turn out to be a beauty. This is marked down at about the 3-yard line. And now Baltimore gets set to take the field. This is sort of what you would call a put-away drive, isn't it? They score here, especially a touchdown. It's almost out of reach.
It certainly feels that way, and I think that they're going to call their plays accordingly because what you really want to do, even though you know the scoreboard is still up there and the game's going to go on, in fact, you can take the spirit away from another team, that their drive and will to come back and win can be taken with another score right here.
It's still third quarter, but you just get that feel.
Yeah, they're teetering right there on the brink, aren't they?
Again with Starks. And this time not as successful as he'll get back to the line of scrimmage and no more. Call it no gain that time as it's going to leave them with a third and about 3 to go.
I know the scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker, and what that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
And not going to be able to push this forward. He runs into a wall right at the line of scrimmage.
Well, he didn't make headway on that one, but he's had plenty of carries all night long. I just wonder if maybe he's a little bit tired from toting the rock that much.
46 on his first kick. This one in that neighborhood as well. Fielded at the 33. 21 yards. Well done on the return. And the Cowboys are going to take over in great position here with a 1st and 10. They'll try and get the running game going with Elliott. Try to find a lane, but instead he'll get back to the line of scrimmage and no more. Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd down.
No gain on that run, and while this team is down, they're not out of it by any stretch of the imagination. Maybe you just have to think about different style of running.
Back now here on EA Sports. It's the Cowboys in possession of the football, but they trail here as we begin the 4th quarter of play. Now he'll look to throw here on 2nd and 10. And his throw's going to be incomplete. Another wayward pass. You know, things started out poorly in this game, and to be frank, they just really haven't gotten much better.
And all that does is embolden the secondary. They feel good about what's going on, and they just play better and better.
The Cowboys on 3rd down. They've struggled to the tune of 2 for 8 so far. This is 3rd and 10. He'll look to throw. Into a double team, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Marlon Humphrey. And he's able to get it back to the 41-yard line. This spot in the 4th quarter with that deficit, had to throw the football. Unfortunately, there's the risk of big turnover.
And you know you're going to be throwing against nickel, dime, all sorts of exotic defenses, but you have to do it anyway. Ordinarily, you might want to run the football a little bit, try and get them out of it. But as you noted, this time of the game, this point on the clock, had to throw it.
And now Baltimore gets set to take the field. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency.
And the Cowboys' pressure gets there this time for the sack.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
Pass protection has been a problem all night long as they come up facing 2nd and a bundle.
No. Check. Patriot. Check. Presto.
And on the ground they go with a running back. And able to use his blockers to get this up over the 40. It's a gain of 7 on the ground, but they'll be faced with 3rd and long.
Bottom line, they want to keep this clock rolling, so they'll take that one right there. They just want to keep falling forward, and they want to put the onus on the big fellas up front in order to bring this one home.
56. Watch it now, Barney.
On 3rd down, Jackson. Wide open receiver complete. They'll get this one down near the 20-yard line, just shy of the 20. They give him a gain of 38. Still throwing the football here, even with the big lead.
Yeah, I know you and I came up in a different era when we think about sportsmanship and all that. Other people think about fantasy points and getting their numbers. That's all they care about right now.
So the big play gets them all the way down to the outskirts of the red zone here for 1st and 10.
Hey.
And they'll go with the ground attack here. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. Officially no gain on the play, and it's 2nd down. Run blitz there defensively, something we might...
Between that and a pass blitz, you're just trying to get to the quarterback. You're trying to scheme someone open who will get to the QB and make sure he gets on the ground. In a run blitz, you're actually trying to cover up gaps, trying to cover up holes so they can't run the football.
Lucky 56. Lucky 56.
Now Jackson on second down. This will be caught inside the 10. And brought down, but not before they get it inside the 10 to the 7. The Raven passing game getting in sync, another first down. They have the nice cushion. They just want to pour it on right now, still throwing the football.
And I know my background says, why do you need to do this? Just go ahead and run out the clock and get a win. But as many people pointed out to me, it's a video game, man. Go ahead and put the numbers up. Sportsmanship, not an issue.
Exercise those fingers. They'll give it to him up the middle. And a little bit of space there. Takes it inside the 5 to the 3. And I'm guessing you'd say this is kind of the key here. Grind out some yardage. Work on that clock. See if you can continue to tick it down.
Definitely. You want to bleed things out at this point, right? Continue to possess the football. Gain some yardage and put the onus on the defense. Do they have to use timeouts? What are they going to do to stop you? You're taking charge.
Back 99 Philly, here we go. Detroit! Detroit! Gone! 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 Gone!
On second down, Jackson. And this is caught. Touchdown, Baltimore. As his guys are in for 6. And the Ravens will extend their lead. I think all teams probably like seeing that schedule for the first time, looking at week 1. Oh, good, we're at home. This is why you want to be home in week 1. They're looking sharp.
And I agree with you totally. That's what you want. But there carries a little extra pressure with that as well, because you and I both know protecting the home field, winning your home games is paramount in this league. So you go into it, yeah, we want it, but now you actually have to go out and prove it.
Yeah, 2 sides to that coin, and looking like they're going to protect it here in this one. So that winds up a 7-play drive all told. And it's capped off with a Ravens touchdown. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. And now Dallas gets set to take the field. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious, because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack them here. And they're able to get this one across the 35. Right off the bat, it's a first down to start the drive, 12 yards. Decent start to the drive, but let's face it, they need a lot of things to go right in a short amount of time, down 3 scores.
Yeah, they're going to run their 2-minute offense here in this game, but this is for future games. Can they get better and be ready for the next time, hopefully with a chance to win?
Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And he finally goes down at the 23-yard line. A big play here for Dallas. 41 yards.
Now that play will end up on the highlights, and you'll see it all over the place. But what you won't see, the offensive line that bought the extra time, that allowed for the big completion downfield, those guys made that play possible.
Now on first down, he'll drop to throw it. And the Raven pressure too much. Down he goes.
We've been around this league for a while, and many coaches never pull their starting quarterback, almost no matter the situation. In this case, though, I think he's got to make a decision. He's taking a pretty good beating out there.
Yeah, and with the deficit, maybe not wanting to risk an injury.
All right, here we go. 3-19. 3-19.
Now they'll throw here out of the gun. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up third down. We have not seen a whole lot of wide-open receivers. Everything seemingly has been contested.
And that's another nice job there to force an incompletion. They've been very cohesive, knowing each other's moves all game long, and they've been on the spot just about every time.
And they've held them in check on the scoreboard. Under pressure, and down he goes. They sack him back at the 36.
Brandon, what I remember most about playing with guys who knew how to rush the passer, they would just tell you, just cover people for me, just long enough for me to get there. And that's exactly what happened on that play.
Out now comes the Cowboys punter. He's been one of their few bright spots so far. He gets this one away, and boy, it's another boomer. And he couldn't get it to check up. That kicks all the way into the end zone for a touchback. The Ravens offense now, they get ready to head back on the field. And that last drive, a long drive, but not just that. They had a great air attack going. Do they stick with that?
I would think that they would, because if they were confident enough to do it on the last drive, starting backed up in their own territory, why would you change anything? They've got to be confident about what they're presenting and continue to do so.
Yeah, because the secondary, they really look clueless.
And that was amazing because that drive went and went, no adjustments, and no big plays by the defense to knock the ball away.
Jackson now. He's going to air one out. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out, incomplete. Fourth quarter, you've got the big lead. If you're coaching, Charles, you still taking shots like that downfield?
I'd be a little more concerned with running some clock and making sure you're taking care of the lead, because you keep flinging it around, you throw a couple of picks, you can put yourself in jeopardy.
And they'll run it here. And he finds some space past the 25 to the 27. Second down, a little more productive than first. 7 yards on the gain. It gets him to 3rd and 3 now.
That's it. That's what you want. Straight ahead positive gain. Just keep that clock ticking.
The Ravens on 3rd down. They're right at about the league average, 40%, 4 for 10. Here it's 3rd and 3.
Green 39! Green 39!
Again on the ground, again with Starks. And now running right through it. 7 yards there, good enough to move the sticks.
I know we're in the era of wide-open football, a lot of spread formations, more space, but there's still a spot for power football. We just saw some of it right there. How about that run?
Yeah, breaking the tackle, and, you know, late in this game, he wants the football in his hands. He's had a good day. Time for a break. This one, all over but the shouting. We'll finish it after this. So it's Raven football here as we welcome you back. And no doubt what they're looking to do is just salt away the final couple of minutes and escape with a win.
3-19!
Throwing now, Jackson on first down. He sets to fire deep. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up 2nd down. Despite the lead here in the 4th, they're still taking shots.
Not content to sit on this lead at all. And to me, it raises the question of what's right in this game nowadays. Do you sit on the ball and run it because you have enough of a lead? Or do you try and extend it because you always feel like the other team can come back?
Extend it. Have some fun. And running room scarce here. He's going to be stopped in his tracks at the line of scrimmage. Call it no gain on the run there, and now they'll be looking at a 3rd down.
That didn't appear to be a run blitz. He just darted in once he saw the run develop. That appeared to be a case of see ball, get ball.
Watch it now, Barney! Barney! Gun! 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 Gun!
To throw is Jackson on 3rd down. Man open, it's Moss complete. That goes as a gain of 36 on 3rd down.
That was an excellent read right there. Saw cover 1. That means it's just a single high safety. So you know if you throw the ball to the outside part of the field, help is going to be a little bit late getting there. And he puts one out there for a big-time completion.
So the big play has him all the way down to the 30 now for 1st and 10.
Watch it now, Barney! Barney! All right, here we go. Green 39! Green 39!
And despite the late lead, Jackson to throw. And a scary incompletion, almost picked off. It would have been their first INT of the game. Instead, 2nd down.
I think he's a little trigger-happy right there, and it turned into an ill-advised throw into their zone.
Well, we know he has confidence. He'll throw it any place, anytime, anywhere. That time it fell incomplete. Ball on the 30 as they come up 2nd and 10.
Now, lucky 56! Lucky 56! Detroit! Detroit! Gun! 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 Gun!
Jackson now on 2nd and 10. And this is caught at the 8. And he will get into the end zone. It's another touchdown. This thing is ugly. So another score there, and often you talk about the 3 phases of the game. Defense, offense, special teams. It's been a clean sweep in this one, hasn't it?
It certainly has. They've been pretty dominant throughout this game. And privately, the head coach will add a 4th phase. That's the coaching. And he'll tell the ownership that as he tries to negotiate a new contract off of this win.
They are looking strong here in the 4th quarter. Now the try here for the point after. Now whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense. It's just their first. They've got 2 more to use here in the final stages. So the Ravens will keep the offense on the field as they're going to go for 2. Jackson throwing once more. And, boy, talk about adding insult to injury. He's into the end zone to tack on 2 more. Oh, boy, rubbing a little salt in the wound there, going for 2 up this big.
You know, there's one time when I played, Brandon, and played against a team that was just absolutely pile driving us. And they ended up going for 2 late in the game. And I asked one of the guys, why'd you do that? He said, because we wanted to win by more. That feels like that type of situation.
Wow. Well, it could also result in a melee later, though.